Hi, my name's Ryan, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about what my wife and I are going through since she's been gotten pregnant. My wife and I, about 9 months ago, decided that we might be interested in having a baby, and we weren't going to try really hard, but we just weren't going to not try. And so I started looking into getting some maternity insurance because our insurance is we go outside of our company, and our insurance doesn't do maternity insurance, which I was very surprised to see that most insurance companies don't. So what we did is I started looking around at other companies that do cover maternity. And what I found out is that most of them want you to sign a 12-month contract agreeing that you will not get pregnant for the 12 months, but going ahead and paying the $300 to $400 a month premium for the 12-month duration. The contract would be void if you got pregnant before the 12-month period. And then after the 12-month period, our kind of concern was, well, could she get pregnant also? And then how long would that take after that? How long would we continue paying this premium before the insurance kicked in? So, with that being said, we're on a budget like everybody else, and we opted out of doing that program. Well, then about 2 months later, my wife was pregnant, and we've been celebrating, except for now the real cost and everything, the real reality of how much everything's going to cost has now hit us. So we went to first thing we did, and a lot of people do, is we were told to go to Medicaid and see if we qualified for any government assistance. So we went in there and. We don't. My wife and I make over the minimum that you're supposed to make. It was really interesting though because a lot of friends and a lot of coworkers and people told me that they had gotten on Medicaid and that we were to, if I pretended like I left her and she went in by herself and pretended like I wasn't going to support the baby and all this stuff, that they would immediately take care of her, and we didn't want to go that route or try to do anything, you know, unlegit. So we didn't do that route. But it's amazing how many people have. It's just one thing. But anyways, so we went and found out, and I got some quotes from the doctor, and the doctors that we really, really, really liked and felt comfortable with no insurance, was going to cost $3,500. And if you wanted to make payments on that, it was going to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of like $5,200, which was pretty dramatic to us, a $1,700 difference. That's from making payments versus just paying it outright. So that's kind of a shocker. So be looking at that if you're in my boat. We just got that finished, paid off. We finished paying that off just about 3 or 4 weeks ago. My wife is 6.5 months now, and so now I started. The next thing was to start looking into hospitals and get an idea of how much that was going to cost, and then that was the real shocker. The Baptist Hospital here was going to charge us $13,500, and that was to cover the mom and then baby. Apparently, you got mom's bill and baby's bill, and that together. And they told me that was a rough estimate. That wasn't a guarantee or anything like that. So $13,500 with no insurance pretty much made me want to crap. So I call them back and I say, okay, is there any kind of discounts? We don't have any insurance. We don't have maternity insurance. We have regular insurance. And they said, oh, well, since you have regular insurance, then there's nothing that we can do for you. If you pay it all off in full, we'll give you a 10% discount. So of course, if I just could pay it off in full, then I wouldn't be asking for discounts. So then I kind of fretted about it for 2 weeks, and a lot of people told me, and it's true, that if you have a hospital bill, you can pay like $20 a month. They'll never report it, and it's not collecting any interest. So don't fret about it, Ryan. Everything's fine. But then again, I don't want my kid to be 10 years old by the time I finally pay for it being born. I'd like to be thinking about college or something. So what we decided to do is I called around to other hospitals to find out what would the charge be. And I called this one hospital. The very next hospital I called, I told them my situation, and she told me don't claim my insurance at all. She said if I don't claim any insurance, And like I said, I have regular basic insurance. I've been paying it. If you don't claim that at all and you don't have any insurance, their cost is going to be $12,100. That's their normal cost. But you get a 62.5% discount if you are uninsured, bringing it down to like $5,500. It's amazing. And I said, and she said, that's if nothing goes wrong. I try to come back with, well, if I do have regular coverage, so if something does go wrong, that does cover. And she said, well, just don't mention that, because the only way you get the discounts, it's crazy to me, because you get punished for having insurance. I pay insurance. I just couldn't get maternity because of the weird 12-month thing. So any other parents out there who don't have insurance and they're freaking out or whatever, it turns out after that I called several other hospitals, and all of them offer some kind of great program, and they'll cut your bill. I mean, literally, that was 60-some%. Almost all of them would cut it down by 40%. If you could pay it all off, they would give you an additional discount. It's pretty remarkable. So I just wanted to tell people out there, I guess, don't mention your insurance if you're in that circumstance. Don't drop it, but just don't report it. I don't know if I'm being misleading or not, but if the guy next to me who hasn't paid anything is getting discounts, and then I'm not getting discounts because I'm paying, it just seems kind of wrong. So I'm not going to feel guilty about not reporting my insurance. But yeah, so just thought I'd let you know. If you have any questions or anything about that, feel free to ask. Thanks. Bye.